Recognizing something which our ancestors knew thousands of years ago, even before they could predict where medicine would go. And that is the birth of every live and healthy child to a live and healthy mother is a miracle. It's a miracle. And we have to start before we get to naming and before we get to celebration. We have to start with gratitude and a blessing for ongoing healing. So Hillary, you're going to bench going up. And we're going to say the bracha with full kavanah to the Creator of the universe for having brought you both to this moment, whole and healthy, and ready to join your lives together and to build it together. So, bracha go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hagomel l'chayim tovot shegmalani kol tov.
And now that you've expressed gratitude, we want to say a bracha for your continued healing, continued recovery, before we get to her name. Misha berach avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rachel, Leah, ויברך את היולדת הרב החזן, את זרה בת אפרים ושמואלה, ואת הילדה הנודע לה במזל טוב. יהי רצון שיזכו הוריה, לגדלה לטובה לחופה למעשים טובים, ונאמר So Daniel and Hillary, first I want you to look out at this room of people. Members of your family who've known your entire lives, and members of your new family who've just had a year to become part of your inner circle. And I know and imagine that at this time, it can be overwhelming to be surrounded by so many people because the needs of the three of you are so intense. Just know that this gathering, this embrace, simply is a mirroring back to you of the love that you throw out to the world and the type of meaningful relationships that you model and represent. And I can say on behalf of all of us that we don't want to thank you, no. We don't want to thank you, Paul. We have no expectations that you linger with any of us. The last thing we want to do is to put any obligations on you right now. We're here to show you love and support and to let you know that you're starting this journey in your life as far from alone as possible. You have no obligations to anyone in this room. I want to go back to a moment, an interesting moment, Hillary, where you and I met. You and I met for the first time at a classroom at JTS, and we met with a song. You started singing a song. We're actually going to sing a little bit. Kayal ta'arog al afike mayim, from verse 4, from Psalms chapter 42. And the verse says, like a deer or a gazelle is oreg, is thirsting on the streams of water, so my soul thirsts for you. I did some study on that verse because it's really the verse through which this connection was begun. And Rashi says something very interesting on that verse, which is also appropriate because there's some of the Wednesday morning Rashi students right here. I want to give you a little taste of Rashi. Rashi said that verb ta'arov doesn't just mean to thirst. It's actually an onomatopoeia. And it's unique, according to the Midrash, to the sound, to the voice, kol ha'ayah, to the sound that the gazelle or deer makes when it's thirsting for sustenance. And references other places in the Bible where different verbs are used for different animals. A lion is nohen, a bear is shokek, a bird is tzaftzef. They're all onomatopoeia. And what's interesting about his reading of it, he's saying that this verse is not just expressing the thirst, the yearning coming from this ayah, but the way in which that yearning is met, the way in which that thirst is quenched. It's quenched because that ayah has a unique voice, a unique sound, and the Kadosh Baruch Hu notices it, and knows it, and remembers it, and resonates with it, and so responds to it because God knows that sound so well. It's an extraordinary thing to imagine that every animal in the universe having a particular voice, and you're about to enter into a realm in your lives where one of your most important and challenging obligations is to get to know this whole, this voice. It may not be nohem or shokek, it may not be oreg. It's going to be her own voice that no two people on the planet are going to know better than you. And as I imagine you've already experienced from the crazy, vulnerable first week of life, sometimes that voice is piercing and crying out for a need that you can't immediately meet. And sometimes that voice is the sweetest thing you'll ever hear in your lives. And one of your most sacred duties is to let her know that when she oregs, when she nohems, when she showcakes, when she lets out her voice, there are at least two people on the planet who are listening and who are experts and who know it and who can try to quench her thirst or satisfy her hunger or fulfill her need for love and intimacy. If you can do that, if you can become as expert in her kol as God is to the kol of that ayah, you've accomplished most of the mitzvah of parenting. And I'm optimistic because of what I know about both of you, that your ears and hearts are already attuned, and she's well on her way to being one of the luckiest girls on the planet. I want to take this opportunity to pause and to give her a formal name by which she'll be known for the rest of her life. Opening up the envelope at just the right time. Hello, Eloheinu v'Elokei Avotenu, Kayemet Li'ada Hazot, Li'avia Ulima, V'Karei Shema B'Yisrael, Ella Maayan, Bat Harav Daniel Eliyahu, Harav Hechazan et Azara. Yismach ha'av yotzech v'atzav t'kel ima d'kri b'ibna, כך כתוב, אל הנער הזה התפללתי ויתן אדוני לי את שאלתי אשר שאלתי מאמו, וקיים לנו אלוהינו מה שכתוב, פי הפתחה בחוכמה ותורת חסד על לשונה. הודו לאדוני כי טוב, לעולם חסדו again. הודו לאדוני כי לעולם חסדו. זאת הקטנה אלה מעיין, גדולה תהיה. יהי רצון שיזכו הוריה לגדלה לתורה לחופה למעשים טובים, ונאמר אמן. Our God and God of our ancestors, sustain this child and let her be known among the people of Israel. Is it Ella or Ella? Ella Maayan bat Harav Daniel Eliyahu v'Harav Hechazan et Azara. May her mother be blessed with renewed strength. May both parents find joy in their child, as it is written, "It was this child I prayed for, and Adonai has granted me what I have sought." Fulfill for her, Adonai our God, that which is written. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the Torah of loving kindness is upon her tongue. Let us give thanks to Adonai, for Adonai is good. May this child, Ella Maayan, grow into greatness as a blessing to her family, to the Jewish people, to all humanity. May her parents be privileged to raise her to womanhood, and may Ella Maayan enjoy the blessings of Torah when they stand beneath the chuppah and live a life of masim tovim, good deeds. And we say, Amen. Now I'm going to turn the moment over to the two of you as you share with Ella Maayan in words that she's only hearing today, but she'll understand later on in her life, and that hopefully you'll share with her the meaning of her name, the meaning of her birth in your lives.
אלה מעיין, בטרם אצרך בבטן ילדיך, ובטרם תצא מרחם תקשיך. Before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. And before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you. Your mommy and I are methodical people, so we came up with 3 criteria for deciding upon your name. 1, following my family's custom, your name was to be the same in English as it is in Hebrew, so you should be known by it in all areas of your life. Number 2, according to your mommy's family's tradition, you will be named after a beloved relative who, sadly, you will never meet, so that you will carry a little something of that person with you always. And lastly, it had to pass the Starbucks test. Your name had to be easy to pronounce. And you'd be surprised how quickly that narrowed our list.
Thankfully, long before your Abba and I witnessed the miracle of your birth, we already knew part of your name. Bat Harav Daniel Eliyahu, Rabbi Chazan et Azara, daughter of Rabbi Daniel Eliyahu and Rabbi Cantor et Azara. We want to bless you with length of life and abundance of joy to match the length of your name. We are giving you your first name, Ella, to evoke the spirit of your maternal great-grandfather, Alexander Barron, who also went by the name Ellis. My Papa Ellis was a strong-willed artist and entrepreneur. He was the kind of man who people referred to as a real character, and he lived according to the maxim, everyone has a right to my opinion. Your Abba and I hope that, like my Papa, you will be a strong, independent individual who brings beauty into the world with your unique voice and skills, and we can't wait to find out what unique voice will be. My Papa and your great-grandmother, Honey, who is here today, shared many decades of love and companionship. Whenever they had the chance, they loved to attend live musical theater performances. Your Abba and I pray that you will be blessed by the words of Papa's favorite song from the musical Carousel. When you walk through the storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid to cry. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone.
The name Ella is the biblical Hebrew name for the terebinth, a big twisted tree that can be found even to this day in the Ella Valley, where David slew the giant Goliath. The prophet Isaiah compared the people of Israel to the terebinth tree, saying that the leaves of the terebinth, which fall away each autumn, are like those among the children of Israel who have lost their faith and gone astray. But the trunk is like those firmly rooted in their heritage. Ka'elah ka'alon asher b'shalechet matzevet bam zera kodesh matzavtah. Ella, Imani and I have such strong faith in the good that comes from a life of Torah and Maasim Tovim. And we pray that your name will be a reminder that even as the seasons change in your life, there will always be that sturdy trunk of Torah to rely upon. May it always be for you the Etz Chaim, the tree of life. In fact, we're fairly sure you came into this world fully steeped in Torah already. We know this not just because you happened to be born during Parshat Ki Teitzei, which contains the most mitzvot of any portion in the Torah, but also because during Mommy's pregnancy, you've had a pretty amazing attendance record at services. And you spent this summer listening to High Holiday Liturgy.
This is why we give you your second name, Maayan. Maayan evokes the Midrash about Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, the student of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. When Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was asked to describe his student, he called him Kima'ayan Mitgaber, like a spring that replenishes itself. Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, though he was a great student of his master's teachings, never ceased to expand Torah by forming his own opinions and understandings. Like an ever-flowing spring of water, we hope that you will grow to be a fresh, new source of Torah for yourself and for others.
May these names bring you as much joy in your life as you've already brought to us in this 1 week.
We love you.
We love you.
I'm going to invite the Saba, Maayan Chorny, to come forward and to share some words.
Usually I'm on the other side of this receiving line, and I'm the one who knows the name ahead of time. And we usually prepare a drasha based on the name. So I prepared about 780 drashot, referring to names that I thought would be appropriate. But I have to confess to you, my wife Aviva hit it very close. She thought maybe the name Ilana, meaning a tree, but you were more precise. And Ella from the Elonei Mamre. So we're delighted. Nonetheless, we were talking, Aviva and I, a few nights ago, and she asked me, how come, with the blessing that we've already recited twice this morning, the Maasim Tovim come last in the list of special wishes? Torah, Chuppah, and Maasim Tovim. Why would the deeds only follow the Chuppah? As usual, it's one of the great questions that Aviva asked me, but this time I also had a good answer. Why do we invoke this item specifically, this bracha? The Gemara lists the mitzvot which are incumbent upon a father to do for his child. And on the list, in order, they are the mitzvot of Talmud Torah, marrying off a child, and teaching the child a profession. The bracha is a blessing for the parent to be zocheh, to be worthy, of properly fulfilling these obligations. Maasim tovim, which come last, is simply another way of saying learning an honest trade. And it's not been used here in the sense manners, or ethics. Proof of the pudding is that unlike what most of us say at a Brit Milah, כשם שנכנס כן ייכנס, in this case תיכנס, which expresses our wishes for the baby, the Rambam, Maimonides, in his formulation of these blessings, uses a different language. He says, כשם שנכנסת, second person. In this case, כשם שנכנסת. The braham here is for the parents who are bringing this child. And as most parents will sympathetically acknowledge, we can use all the blessings we can when it comes to raising our children. But yet there is another reason. In the Torah, what is the first commandment that we are given? Correct. Be fruitful and multiply. So, first, one learns Torah, that which is commanded. Then, one actually fulfills the commandments symbolized by the very first commandment given to humans by taking a spouse and all that entails. Then, one considers the good deeds that are not specifically commanded and set out to do those as well. So if you want a good translation of these blessings that we give you today, may you know Torah, may you do Torah, and may you go beyond Torah.
And now some words and a blessing from Grandpa. Or whatever your name will be.
Many names have been chosen, and mine hasn't. So I plan on having a naming ceremony. The choice was between a limerick from Dr. Seuss or from Naomi Levy, and this seemed much more appropriate. Gift of God, precious child, miracle, my little one. Lay your head on my shoulder. It seems that it was yesterday that I held your mother in my arms, just this way. You are a sweet blessing to me, a tiny messenger of joy. Welcome to this magnificent life. May God grace you with all things that are good and shield you from all harm. May the bonds of our family be your strength. May our love be your comfort. May our faith sustain you. May God be with you now and always. Amen.
Amen.
So the two of you are not only on the way to being wonderful parents, you're also really rabbis all the way through. And you, in wonderful ways, exploit the plural possibilities of Hebrew words and Hebrew letters. So we're about to see something I've never seen done before. I'm so moved by what Rabbi Chorny thought of as a way of ritualizing this moment. Because this is a moment of Brit, it's a moment of covenant. It's not a moment of milah, it's a moment of Brit. And what you did was find a way to make a phrase that you say several times a day, if you're hungry, maybe even 5 times a day, I don't know. They say that breakfast is one of the 5 most important meals of the day. The Al Britcha shechatamta b'sareinu, which we say in the first paragraph of your Mazon. We normally translate that as the covenant that you signed in our flesh. But you translated that first bet as not in the faith. What does it mean to indicate covenant with a part of your body? And so what we're about to do is have baby Ella with her feet sign the expression of Brit, of covenant, Bith Sarah, with her flesh. And then individual members of your family are going to come and add their own fingerprint onto this beautiful piece of artwork, which you're about to see that Elon Blacks has been working on for quite some time. And we're going to sing a little bit as they do that, background music. The song is in front of you. It's the words that I made reference to before. I'll start singing, you can join in. And then while you're eating, after we finish this up, everyone who would like to is invited to come over and add their basar with their finger, so that this can be in the same way that a ketubah is not just a document, but a piece of art in a family's home. This moment is going to last, it's going to have legs, literally and figuratively, because Rabbis Chorny, Hillary, and Daniel are going to be able to see every time they look at it, and they'll recognize each one of your fingerprints. They're going to know if you did it or didn't. And they're going to have a physical reminder not only of Allah's relationship with God and Torah, but of their relationship with you. So we're going to unveil the painting, and we're going to start singing, and then the immediate family members are going to come and add their fingerprints after the legs, and then we'll finish the ceremony, and then you can come back. put their fingerprints on the Allah, the turban. We're going to complete the ceremony with Birkat Kohanim, which is basically blessing that Ella has received at least once already in her life, and which she'll receive on Shabbat throughout her life. And then we'll say the bracha of the wine and send you off to eat, and then come at your own time to add your basar to the Ella.
There are washing stations, or there's at least one over here. Make an individual hamotzi. Enjoy. It's a mitzvah to stay and eat at this meal, and make sure you keep one finger handy for your own fingerprint. And mazal tov.